epidemic that strikes at our communities, our neighbors, and even our children.
It's literally killing people and destroying people's lives.
More than 1,600 Maryland residents buried in just the last year.
It's just so much more potent and so much more addictive.
All this week, 11 News investigates how hospitals, politicians, and advocates are responding to chronic pain, Maryland's opioid crisis.
And half of those overdose deaths involving opioids over the past year were right here in Baltimore.
And to fight back, the city has gone after pharmaceutical companies, amassing nearly $500 million in settlements so far, with more expected.
As investigative reporter Tolly Taylor explains, it's unclear how or when this massive pot of money will be spent to help.
Baltimore is on track to hit near record lows for non-fatal shootings and homicides this year. But some say while city leaders have been focused on those crimes, they've taken their eye off this epidemic ravaging local communities. It was an arrest that saved Bree Bain's life, but the story starts when she was just 17.
I ended up in Southwest Baltimore, living on the streets, prostitution, whatever I could do to get high.
Bain signed over custody of her 2 children to her grandmother, while she alternated between stints in Baltimore City and County Jail. She credits one of those arrests with saving her life.
Today was the first time in my life that I felt peace, that I was going to be okay, because I was going to die out there if I didn't get help.
7 years later, the path she's traveled to recovery, bumpy and bruising.
I was back to shooting heroin in a abandoned house with people that I didn't know, and I don't know how I got there. It was that quick.
Her overdose in 2019, a wake-up call. Bain calling her sponsor.
I want to get clean. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to die. And she said, all right, I'll pick you up.
Bain now works at One Promise, the treatment center she says saved her life, and she has been reunited with her children. As a treatment advocate, she shows up for others in recovery when they have their day in court.
I speak on behalf of them and what they're doing here.
But Bain's story stands in sharp contrast to the experience of many city residents. Data first reported by the Baltimore Banner shows, in the past 6 years, nearly 6,000 city residents have died of opioid overdoses, driven by fentanyl in particular, a drug up to 50 times stronger than heroin. An overdose death rate nearly double that of any other major U.S. city.
We've got to invest more in the prevention and treatment side of this.
Decades before he became the president of the University of Baltimore, Kurt Schmoke was prosecuting drug crimes as the city's state's attorney.
Try to treat it as a public health problem, and you'll have a positive impact on public health and a positive impact on your crime situation.
And then took a different approach when he became mayor in 1988.
What I was trying to do was to say that there should be a war on drugs, but it ought to be a public health war rather than a criminal justice war.
At the time, revolutionary. As a thanks for his empathetic approach, Schmoke was ridiculed in front of Congress and made a punching bag on certain talk shows. The first black elected mayor of Baltimore, hitting a dead end he saw coming. Did taking that position on decriminalization, did that kill any hopes you had of higher political office?
Absolutely, yeah. I knew it at the time, and if you weren't tough on drugs or appear tough on drugs, that you weren't going to go anywhere politically.
Decades later, he says it's gratifying to see how far society's views have progressed. But with state data showing that last year, city overdose deaths involving opioids hit nearly 1,000. Schmoke says the public health war he began advocating for back in 1988 is falling short.
This is an area where the mayor's got to lead in a very robust fashion. I feel that the public now is starting to sense that fentanyl is a real crisis.
Part of what Schmoke says doesn't add up. Mayor Brandon Scott has bravely and, in his view, correctly decided to take legal action against opioid manufacturers. So far, getting settlements from Allergan for $45 million, Cardinal Health for nearly $153 million, CVS for $45 million, Walgreens for $80 million, Teva for $80 million. And just last week, Baltimore won its case against 2 drug companies, adding $266 million to the stockpile.
I am grateful to the jury for seeing the truth.
Johnson & Johnson has also settled, but for an undisclosed amount. But apart from the mayor's executive order in August announcing a 15-year plan to help people with the money, while establishing an advisory board to manage that plan, Schmoke says there's been few specifics about how $669 million will help heal the city's ongoing pain.
Once you do the executive order, there needs to be some follow-up so that people who are interested in this problem will gather together.
In the past few months, the mayor's office has earmarked $87 million in settlement awards to 22 city organizations. But none of those programs are expected to receive funds until the new year.
For those who are out there who are still struggling, who need help, who are ready for the help, which is an important thing, just know that we're here.
Mayor Scott has declined our request for a sit-down interview about this dating back to September, but a spokesperson sent a statement, writing that the $669 million is more than 6 times the figure the city would have received in a global settlement in over a much shorter period of time. The statement also pushes back on Schmoke's comments, noting in part, staff have already started the work needed to inform a coordinated strategy for city agencies and community organizations working to address the overdose crisis. The statement does not elaborate on what that work is.
I agree with Mayor Schmoke. I would love to see a robust effort start immediately.
Baltimore City Councilman Mark Conway's reaction to learning of Baltimore's death toll from opioids.
The first feeling that I had was embarrassment.
Embarrassment, Conway says, that it's uniquely bad in Baltimore and that he didn't know what should be done to stop it.
Hence the hearing and the attempt to resolve all of those questions.
Conway attempted to call multiple city council hearings on it over the summer, but they were blocked by Mayor Scott, citing pending litigation.
I do think we need the full attention of the mayor on this issue.
In response to this comment from Conway, a spokesperson writes that Mayor Scott is focused on supporting affected communities and on delivering the most money possible to help those communities. Adding in part, that commitment is what those struggling with substance use disorder and the families impacted by the opioid epidemic deserve, not attempts to score political points.
Just to be clear there, it's not that just that the settlement money is being withheld right now. You feel like you don't have the mayor's full attention on this yet?
I am waiting for full partnership on this issue.
The mayor's spokesperson, Brian Doherty, writes, all of Conway's questions were answered during the recent trial, which was open to the public. The city legal team is now headed to an abatement trial next month, where the goal will be to recoup billions of dollars in additional funds. For 11 News Investigates, I'm Tolly Taylor.